Welcome, and today we're going to talk about mistakes. How often do you make a mistake? Do you make a mistake every day, every other day, once a week, once a month? And when you make that mistake, how do you allow that to affect your life? Do you get angry about those mistakes? Do you allow it to stop you? Do you go back and try to fix the mistakes? Was the mistake that you made, was it something that you did, something that you said, or something that just happened? For me, I make mistakes all the time. And when we talked earlier in a different episode about the list, one of the things that's on my daily list, and actually, to be honest with you, it's the very first thing on my daily list, is to mess something up. And I have that on there so that once it happens, I can check it off and I can keep on moving. I don't allow that to determine how my day is going to be. Instead, I go up, I know me, I know I'm going to mess something up, I check it off and I keep on moving. And that's one of the ways that I think you should start trying to kind of think about these things, is to not allow things like this to affect your life or to derail you from your day and the events that are going on. There's that common phrase that we all know: to err is human and to forgive is divine. And the forgiveness for yourself for those mistakes is the thing that you need to be having, because you're going to mess up. Every single person messes up something, sometime, if not daily. The main thing about all of these mistakes that you make in your life is about, one, forgiving yourself for making that mistake, two, correcting that mistake, and three, taking the ownership and responsibility for that mistake. You'll find that most mistakes are just little happenstances that you can easily go back and fix or control. And it's always, as they say, the bigger person who goes back and admits the things that they have done wrong and tries to correct them. This eliminates all kinds of stress and worry and guilt and all of those negative emotions that get attached to these mistakes that we make. And so this is where we really need to have the conversation. So, at the beginning of all of these videos, the one thing that I expressed to you was the fact of how I have certain issues with certain people that do these sorts of things. These gurus, as you would, or these other people that are in like a self-help movement kind of position, to where they try to pretend that their lives are good or great, and that they're never honest with you, and you never see any of the mistakes that they make or any of the problems that they're having in their lives. And that's one of the things I tried to stress in that first video, is that these are going to be completely different. The one thing is I don't like the self-help philosophy because of how isolating it is, and that's why we reframed all of this as we help each other, and we also share with each other our successes and our failures. This is what builds a community, and this is what makes everything stronger. This is what makes you stronger, and this is what helps with opportunity. And so I made a mistake, and this is where we're going to be real and talk about this mistake. I don't think most people caught this mistake, and Lord knows it took me a while to realize it. Over the past week, I was going to cut up some of the videos and put them on Instagram as little shorts and things like that to try to help broaden the reach. And as I was doing that, I realized something. The beginning of them, the title, is misspelled. And I stopped and I looked at that and I was like, well, how can that be? And so I went back and I looked at the original file. And sure enough, it's misspelled. And then I went back and started watching the first video. And sure enough, it's misspelled. So for the past 7 weeks, I have had a opening that has had the word ship misspelled in it. Now, when I first realized this, I was like, oh my God, how can this possibly be? Do you know how many times I watch these videos? Besides the fact of creating the beginning, between editing and rendering and then uploading, I see these videos a lot before they ever get out to you. And yet somehow I still ended up missing this mistake. So this brings me to the next mistake I made. I went onto YouTube to try to edit the videos. And in trying to edit the videos, because it was my first time using their editor and I knew better, but I still, mistakes, when you start trying to take care of some of these things and you don't do it right, they tend to kind of multiply. And that's sort of what happened. And so the very first video, which is the introduction that we were sort of just talking about here, I over edited it. And once I did that, there was nothing I could do to fix it except take it down. But I don't want to completely take it down. I would rather just leave it up as it is, the mistake and all, so that you can always go back and be able to look at that. And one, it keeps me real, it keeps me honest, but it also shows the ownership of the mistakes. And this is the way we're going to be. And so I'm going to repost that particular episode again. So when you see it in the list and you think, well, wait a minute, I've already watched this one, this is why. And I have created a new beginning, and I have made sure that the word ship is spelled correctly. And so hopefully no more mistakes, but it is on my list of things to do every day. So I'm sure there's going to be plenty more. So I just want you to kind of think back about the mistakes that you've made recently, and take a few moments and some time. How did you handle those? And what did you do about those? And if you didn't do anything about those, how about you go back and do that? How about you go back and fix whatever that mistake is, provided that you can still fix it? Whether it is something that, something that you said or that you did. Go back and fix that relationship or that broken thing or whatever it is, something that you said wrong or something that was taken out of context. Go back and apologize. Go back and fix what those are so that we can keep moving forward. We always want to move forward. We're walking on a path, and that path leads in one direction, and that direction is our goal. And so until next time, take care. Try not to make any mistakes.